It was pouring rain that fateful night, the kind that soaks you to your soul and washes away whatever's left of your dignity. I was huddled on a park bench, my suit clinging to me like a second skin of failure. My business, gone, crumbled under the weight of betrayal from the one person I trusted most. My fiancée? She packed her bags and left with a smirk, saying I was dead weight. And my so-called friends, their phones, went straight to voicemail the moment my bank account hit zero. I was done, finished, or so I thought. Then, out of the shadows, this old-timer shuffles up, sits down like he owns the bench, and hands me a steaming cup of tea. 5 words from him changed everything. Now you can start living. Little did I know, those words would ignite a fire in me, not just to rebuild, but to rise so high that those who kicked me when I was down would come crawling back, begging for scraps. If you've ever been betrayed and dreamed of sweet, satisfying justice, stick around. This is my story, and trust me, the payback is worth every minute. Hello there, folks. My name is Jack Harlan, and I'm pushing 65 now, living out in the quiet suburbs of Chicago. By day, I'm retired from running a tech firm that pulls in more money than I ever dreamed possible. But my real passion these days is tinkering in my garage workshop and sharing stories like this one with anyone who'll listen. You see, life's thrown me some curveballs, but I've learned to swing back harder. Today, I'm opening up about something deeply personal, a chapter from my own life that still gives me chills when I think about it. This isn't some made-up tale. It's real, raw, and straight from the heart. If you've ever felt that gut-wrenching sting of betrayal, that powerless rage when someone underestimates you, or that burning craving for justice, well, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, if this sounds like the kind of story that fires you up, the ones where the underdog doesn't just win, but makes the bullies regret every smug word, go ahead and hit that like button right now. It tells me you're with me on this journey. And if you're new here, smash subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more real-life tales of triumph and payback. Share in the comments if you've got a similar story brewing in your own life. All right, let's get into it. Pull up a chair, grab a warm drink, and let's travel back to that rainy night. Ah, where to begin? I suppose I should take you back to the start, way before that park bench became my rock bottom. I was born in a small town outside Chicago, the kind of place where everyone knows your business and dreams big, but rarely leaves. My folks were hardworking. Dad was a mechanic, Mom a schoolteacher, and they drilled into me that honesty and grit were the keys to success. I believed it too. Graduated high school, skipped college because I was eager to make my mark, and started working odd jobs to save up for my big idea. By my mid-20s, I'd scraped together enough to launch Harlan Tech Solutions. It wasn't fancy. Just me in a rented garage, fixing computers and building basic networks for local businesses. But I poured my soul into it, sweated through 18-hour days, skipped meals to reinvest every penny, and it grew. Slowly at first, then like wildfire. By 35, I had a team of 20, offices in the city, and clients from coast to coast. We specialized in cybersecurity. keeping hackers out of companies' systems. Irony there, huh? Protecting others from threats while blind to the ones in my own backyard. That's where Victor comes in. Victor Lang, my business partner. God, even saying his name now makes my jaw clench a bit, though I've long since let go of the hate. He was my college buddy, or so I thought. Sharp-dressed, silver-tongued, always with a scheme to take us to the next level. I brought him on board 5 years in because I needed someone to handle the sales side while I focused on the tech. He was good at it, too. Charming clients, closing deals that doubled our revenue. But looking back, there were signs. Little things. Expense reports that didn't add up. Late nights at the office he couldn't explain. Whispers from staff about his side hustles. I ignored them. Trusted him like a brother. After all, we'd shared beers over dreams of going public, making millions. And then there was Sarah, my fiancée. Beautiful, ambitious Sarah, with her fiery red hair and laugh that could light up a room. We met at a networking event. She was in marketing, helped rebrand our company. Sparks flew instantly. Within a year, we were engaged, planning a life together. She pushed me to dream bigger, said we'd build an empire as a power couple. But empires crumble, don't they? It started with small cracks. A big client pulled out unexpectedly, citing security concerns. Then, another. Cash flow tightened. I worked harder, but Victor seemed detached. He'd show up late, flash expensive watches I knew we couldn't afford on his salary. One night, I confronted him in the office. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like angry bees, and the air smelled of stale coffee and printer ink. Victor, what's going on? We're bleeding money, and you're acting like it's vacation time. He leaned back in his chair, that smug grin spreading across his face, the one that always made my stomach twist a little. Jack, relax. It's just a rough patch. You've got to trust the process. Trust. That word haunted me later. The betrayal hit like a freight train. I came home early one evening. Sarah had said she was working late, but her car was in the driveway. Odd. I walked in quietly, heart pounding, for reasons I couldn't place. The house was dim, lit only by the glow from the living room. And there they were, Sarah and Victor, tangled on the couch I'd bought for our future home. My world tilted. Blood roared in my ears, hot and furious. My fists clenched so tight, my nails dug into my palms, drawing tiny beads of blood. The hell? My voice came out choked, barely a whisper at first, then building to a roar. They scrambled apart, Sarah pulling a blanket over herself, eyes wide with fake shock. Victor just smirked. That same damned smirk. Jack, buddy, it's not what it looks like. Not what it looks like? I wanted to lunge at him, feel my knuckles connect with that arrogant jaw. But I froze. The betrayal slicing deeper than any punch could. Internal thoughts raced. How long? Why? Was I that blind? Turns out it was worse than an affair. Victor had been siphoning funds, undercutting our clients to start his own rival firm. Sarah was in on it, feeding him intel, even helping poach our staff. They planned to leave me high and dry, take everything I built. The security concerns? Fabricated by them to scare clients away. I confronted them both that night. Sarah's words stung worst. You're a dreamer, Jack, but dreams don't pay bills. Victor has vision. You're just holding us back. Holding them back? Me, the one who started it all? The fallout was swift. Victor resigned, or rather fled with half our assets through legal loopholes he'd set up. Sarah left that week, taking jewelry I'd gifted her. Friends, the ones I'd hosted barbecues for, loaned money to, they ghosted me. Don't want to pick sides, one texted. Sides? There were no sides, just right and wrong. Bankruptcy followed. Courtrooms with echoing footsteps and stern judges who saw me as just another failed entrepreneur. I lost the house, the cars, everything but the clothes on my back. Powerless didn't cover it. I felt gutted, hollowed out. Nights blurred into days of staring at ceilings, replaying every mistake. Betrayal burned like acid in my veins. Underestimated? Absolutely. They saw me as the nice guy who'd roll over. Disrespected? In spades. And that craving for justice, it simmered, quiet at first, but growing. Which brings us to that rainy night. The park bench, water dripping from leaves overhead, pooling in cold puddles at my feet. My breath fogged in the chill air, each exhale a sigh of defeat. The city lights blurred through the downpour, mocking me with their unyielding glow. I sat there, shoulders slumped, rain trickling down my collar like icy fingers, defeated, alone. Then he appeared, the old man, gray hair plastered to his head, coat threadbare and soaked. He didn't ask permission, just sat down, unscrewed his thermos with gnarled hands, poured steaming tea into the lid. The aroma hit me, chamomile, warm and soothing against the storm. You look like you could use this, he said, voice gravelly but kind, like worn leather. I took it, hands trembling. We sat in silence, the rain pattering on like applause for my misery. Finally, I broke. I've lost everything. He turned those wise eyes on me, eyes that had witnessed wars, loves lost, lives rebuilt. Now you can start living. 5 words. Simple, but they landed like a thunderclap. I didn't get it right away. Walked home that night, feet sloshing in wet shoes, mind churning. Start living. I'd been living, or so I thought, chasing success, trusting the wrong people. But losing it all stripped away the illusions. No more facades, just me, raw and ready. The turning point came the next morning. Woke up in my dingy motel room, staring at the water-stained ceiling. Anger bubbled up, not just at them, but at myself for being so naive. But mixed with it was resolve, a fire kindling in my chest. Thoughts raced. They think I'm done? Broken? I'll show them. Not with fists or shouts, but with success that dwarfs theirs. Justice, served cold and calculated. I started small, pawned what little I had left for a beat-up laptop. Crashed on a cousin's couch, the one family member who didn't turn away. Spent days in libraries, devouring books on business, coding, psychology. Nights? Coding prototypes for a new cybersecurity tool, one that detected internal threats. Ironic as hell given what happened. But revenge? Oh, it brewed. I tracked Victor and Sarah discreetly. They launched Lang Secure, poaching my old clients with lies about my incompetence, thriving on my ruins. Friends? Some joined them, posting selfies at fancy parties on social media. Each post was a jab, living the dream. I'd grit my teeth, fists balling, heart pounding with that mix of rage and determination. Planning took years. Patience became my weapon. I rebuilt Harlan Tech 2.0 from scratch, solo at first, then hiring loyal talent. Innovated, AI-driven threat detection that blew competitors out of the water. Pitched to investors who'd heard my story, sympathized with the underdog. Funding poured in. Growth exploded. All while watching them. Victor's firm hit snags. Bad reviews. A data breach. Karma? Sarah? She handled their PR. But whispers of their affair leaked, tarnishing their image. Execution phase. Subtle at first. Undercut their bids ethically, winning back old clients with superior tech and honesty. Jack's back, and better, one said. Tension built. Short, sharp breaths in boardrooms. Sweat beading on brows as deals slipped away. Then, the masterstroke. I developed a patent-pending algorithm that exposed embezzlement in real time. Offered it to regulators anonymously, tipping them off to Victor's shady dealings from our old days. Evidence I'd gathered quietly. Investigations launched. His firm crumbled under audits, lawsuits. Sarah? She reached out first, via email. Jack, can we talk? Things aren't great. I ignored it, but the satisfaction? Electric. The climax hit on a crisp autumn day, 5 years after that rainy night. My company was valued at $50 million. Offices gleaming in downtown Chicago. I was in a boardroom, sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows, the city sprawling below like a conquered kingdom. The door opened. Victor and Sarah, ushered in by my assistant. They looked smaller, diminished. Victor's suit rumpled, eyes bloodshot from stress. Sarah's makeup couldn't hide the worry lines. Her once confident posture slumped. Jack, Victor started, voice cracking. No smirk now. We're in trouble. The feds are on us. Clients jumping ship. We need help. Maybe a merger? For old time's sake? Old times? My heart raced, but not with fear, with triumph. Internal monologue surged. This is it. The moment they've dreaded. The one I've earned. I leaned back, steepling my fingers. A merger? After you stole my ideas, my clients, my life? Sarah interjected, tears welling. Please, Jack, we were wrong. I was wrong. I regret everything. Regret. The word hung in the air like smoke. Their faces, shock turning to desperation, anger flickering but powerless. Victor's jaw worked silently, fists clenched at his sides. Sarah's lip quivered, a sob escaping. I paused, letting the silence stretch, savoring it. Then, no merger. But I'll buy you out for pennies. Take it or lose everything. They took it. Signed the papers with shaking hands, humiliated in the empire I'd rebuilt from their ashes. Walking out, heads bowed. The door clicking shut behind them felt like closure. Relief washed over me, a tidal wave of validation, triumph bubbling up in laughter once they were gone. Justice served, earned. Looking back now, at 65, sipping coffee in my cozy home office, I realized that old man's words were prophetic. Losing everything wasn't the end. It was the forge that tempered me stronger. Karma? Maybe. But more than that, it's about resilience, about turning pain into power. Life's full of Victors and Sarahs, people who betray, underestimate, disrespect. But if you channel that hurt into growth, justice finds its way. Not always with fireworks, but in quiet, satisfying ways. I've forgiven them, mostly. Carrying hate is heavy, but I'll never forget the lesson. Sometimes, rock bottom is the solid foundation you need to build higher. What about you? Think on it. Has life handed you a similar hand? Use it to shuffle the deck in your favor. Whew, that was a ride, wasn't it? If this story hit you in the feels, that mix of heartbreak and hardcore payback, smash that like button to let me know. Drop a comment below. What's the most satisfying revenge or comeback you've ever seen or pulled off? Your stories keep this community alive. And hey, if you want more real-life tales like this, ones that inspire, enrage, and ultimately uplift, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that comebacks are possible. Thanks for listening, folks. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight. Take care.